She was 9 years old, standing midday on the sunlit sidewalks of Santa Monica's 3rd Street Promenade, her violin bow hovering above polished strings. In that electrifying instant, she did something remarkable. Her first note rang out sharp and clear, slicing through the din of beachgoers, skateboard wheels, and distant seagulls. Heads turned. Phones emerged. Crowds gathered as if drawn by a magnetic force. In that moment, a young girl from Ukraine quietly unleashed a talent so potent it would alter the course of her life and captivate millions around the world. You might know her as Karolina Protsenko, the 15-year-old violinist whose enchanting performances have earned over 1 billion views across YouTube and social media. But what really happened to transform a street busker into an international music phenomenon? How did a girl, born in the storied streets of Kiev, find her voice in California and grow into a digital superstar? In this journey of perseverance, passion, and unexpected turns, we'll reveal the untold chapters that shaped her rise and the challenges she continues to overcome. Let's rewind to Kiev, Ukraine, where Karolina entered the world on October 3, 2008. Music wasn't merely background noise in her childhood home. It was the driving heartbeat of daily life. Both parents were classically trained musicians, and their apartment buzzed with piano chords, guitar riffs, and the gentle hum of rehearsals. Little Karolina toddled along, eyes bright with wonder, tracking every movement of their fingers across strings and keys. By age 3, she reached for her mother's violin, and almost before anyone realized it, notes emerged, tentative at first, then more assured, as though she'd been born knowing exactly how to draw A, B, O, W. In 2015, an adventure awaited the Protsenko family, a move across continents from Kiev to Monterey Park, California. The decision was fueled by hope for a brighter future, hope for new opportunities. Almost immediately, Karolina's parents enrolled her in violin lessons, careful to match her raw talent with the right teachers. Under the guidance of seasoned instructors, her technique blossomed. She tackled classical etudes with a discipline rare among her peers, demonstrating impeccable intonation and a depth of feeling that belied her youth. Yet she was not content to remain cloistered in concert halls or practice studios. Something inside her craved connection, spontaneity, genuine reaction. That craving led her to busking. At first, it was a modest experiment, an opportunity to test her confidence in a real-world audience. She chose the 3rd Street Promenade, famed for its eclectic mix of tourists, locals, and street performers. On a warm summer afternoon in 2017, cameras often rolled by on tripods, but none were aimed at her, until she began to play. The melody she selected, a timeless pop cover, wove through the pedestrian traffic like a siren's call. Spectators slowed, whispered to friends, then stepped closer. Her bow danced across strings, coaxing a vibrato so rich it vibrated through the soles of shoes. Phones were lifted, recording. Smiles blossomed. Applause thundered. Word spread rapidly. Nearby buskers took notice. Vendors paused their hawking, and strangers crowded in tighter, moving couches of camaraderie around her. That first busking performance was captured and posted online by a passerby. Within days, the clip amassed thousands of views. Comments like "unbelievable talent" and "is she really only 9" flooded the post. For Karolina, it was a thrilling revelation. Her music had the power to stop time, to connect hearts across languages and borders. Back at home, excitement pulsed through the Protsenko household. Videos were downloaded and posted to Karolina's newly minted YouTube channel. With her parents' encouragement, she began to refine her online presence. Crisp audio, captivating thumbnails, honest descriptions. She didn't hide her age or shy away from her roots. Instead, she leaned into them, wearing vibrant folk accents, occasionally slipping in a hint of Ukrainian melody, a nod to the heritage that shaped her earliest days. But viral fame can be fickle. Suddenly thrust into the digital spotlight, Karolina faced new pressures. Every new cover carried expectations. Comments shifted from praise to scrutiny. "She's too young. This one's better than the last. When will she grow out of this phase?" Rather than crumble under criticism, she embraced it as fuel. Late nights of relentless practice followed. She experimented with genre mashups, pop classics, cinematic scores, even traditional folk songs. Each performance pushed her boundaries, showcasing not just technical prowess, but an evolving artistic identity. Her channel grew exponentially. Collaborations with local musicians amplified her reach. Every like, share, and subscribe reinforced a simple truth. People craved authenticity, and she delivered it in every heartfelt bow stroke. Yet underneath the gleaming success lay a girl balancing two worlds. By day, she tackled algebra and history in virtual classrooms, navigating quizzes and homework. By dusk, she donned her performance outfit, warmed up her violin, and transformed into a shining artist under streetlights or studio lamps. It wasn't always easy. She missed sleep, juggled deadlines, and wrestled with self-doubt. Was she performing because she loved it, or because the world expected her to? How long could she maintain this momentum? And what came next once the digital applause faded? We'll dive deeper into Karolina's pivotal career moments, her viral collaborations, her transformative television appearances, the strategic choices that bolstered her brand, and the personal values that keep her grounded. We'll uncover how a custom violin from a generous icon, surprise gifts, and international music champions propelled her beyond busking, and how she navigates adolescence under the relentless gaze of millions. By the end, you'll understand not just what happened to Karolina Protsenko, but the powerful forces that shaped her, and the universal lessons her journey imparts for any dreamer reaching for the stars. And then the real momentum built when Karolina started uploading her busking clips on YouTube. That first passerby video, shot on a smartphone, quickly racked up tens of thousands of views, proof that raw authenticity and unfiltered passion could outshine expensive production. Encouraged by this early success, her parents helped her invest in a basic home studio setup, a condenser microphone, a simple audio interface, and a tripod for her phone. It wasn't glamorous, but it captured her sparkling tone and genuine smiles. In those modest early uploads, you can see the flicker of something extraordinary, a prodigy unafraid to share her gift with the world, one street corner at a time. Soon, Karolina expanded beyond solo busking. One of her earliest viral collaborations came when she invited her mother, a gifted vocalist, to duet on "You Are the Reason." Filmed right on Santa Monica's tiled promenade, their voices blended seamlessly. Viewers were drawn not only by Karolina's virtuosic violin, but by the intimate family bond shining through every note. Within hours, comments flooded in. "So pure, so real, tears in my eyes, and please do more songs together." That single performance crossed 1 million views in under 2 days, propelling her channel into a new stratosphere and attracting inquiries from local musicians eager to join forces on that wave of community support. Karolina experimented with genre mashups that defied expectations. She paired cinematic themes with pop hits, rendering Hans Zimmer scores alongside Ed Sheeran anthems through the bow of her violin. Each cover carried a subtle narrative, the elegance of classical technique meeting the relatability of modern melodies. As her repertoire diversified, so did her audience. Classical purists intrigued by fresh interpretations, pop fans curious about a stringed take on their favorites, and international viewers amazed by a Ukrainian girl thriving in sunny California. The comments section, once a simple "great job," evolved into a lively exchange of musical requests, fan art, and genuine emotional testimonies. But no collaboration sparked as much buzz as her series with Italian saxophonist Daniele Vitali. Their chemistry was electric. Danielle's smooth sax lines weaving in and out of Karolina's lively violin riffs, each performance a conversation between two instruments. Their one-take cover of "Dance Monkey" went viral overnight, hitting 5 million views in 3 days. Media outlets picked up the story. Young violinist steals the show. Musical duo transcends language barriers. Interviews followed, and soon both young musicians were fielding professional offers, from local concert bookings to sponsorship deals for instrument makers. Their partnership illustrated a key lesson. Strategic, authentic collaborations can turbocharge growth and introduce your craft to an entirely new fan base. Just as she seemed unstoppable online, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity arrived in the form of a television appearance. The Ellen DeGeneres Show, renowned for introducing viral sensations to a national audience, extended an invitation. For Karolina, the thought of performing under studio lights in front of millions was both thrilling and terrifying. The day of the taping, she arrived with her custom-made violin case. Even that was a conversation starter, handcrafted by a Ukrainian luthier in Los Angeles, adorned with subtle folk motifs. When her moment came, she stepped onto the stage, bow in hand, and launched into a stirring rendition of Post Malone's Sunflower. The audience gasped, then erupted into a standing ovation. Ellen's warm applause and on-camera hug marked a pivotal moment. Karolina had graduated from street corners to primetime TV, proving that digital fame could translate into mainstream validation. Ellen's surprises didn't end with applause. Mid-interview, the host presented Karolina with a brand new custom violin, lightweight, ergonomically designed, and bearing a delicate sunflower inlay as a nod to her performance. Then came a busking bucket filled with $11,000 in cash, an astonishing gesture that underscored the generosity often waiting beyond digital boundaries. Cameras captured Karolina's wide-eyed gratitude and a rare, unguarded laugh. The pure reaction of a teenager whose love for music had unlocked doors she'd only ever dreamed of opening. Clips from that episode surged online, adding tens of millions of views to her channel and cementing her status as a rising star. Buoyed by that success, Karolina returned to YouTube with renewed vigor. She introduced timestamps to help fans jump to favorite moments, added chapters outlining her creative process, and began experimenting with light, candid vlogs showcasing her daily practice routines, school life, and behind-the-scenes prep for professional shoots. By blending polished performances with unscripted glimpses of her real life, she deepened her bond with viewers. No longer just a violin prodigy, she became a relatable personality, one who juggled school projects, occasionally stumbled over a tricky piece, and shared the exhilaration of hitting a perfect high note. Karolina's next big collaborative moment came courtesy of The Kelly Clarkson Show. Kelly, a self-professed violin fanatic who'd admired Karolina's online clips, arranged a surprise duet with Lindsey Sterling, Karolina's idol, and another young woman who'd reinvented violin performance for a digital audience. When Lindsey emerged from backstage, Karolina's eyes welled up. She moved from performer to awestruck fangirl in an instant. Together, they played a soaring arrangement of Sterling's Crystallize, their synchronized bows reflecting studio lights like twin beacons. The audience, enthralled, showered them with applause. That performance wasn't just a trophy on Karolina's resume. It was a signal fire to young musicians everywhere that mentorship and community could elevate talent to unforeseen heights. Amid these high-profile appearances, Karolina maintained a disciplined practice schedule. She carved out 2 hours each evening to refine her tone, study music theory, and learn new arrangements. On weekends, she joined local orchestras to hone her ensemble skills, understanding that online hits, while exhilarating, were only one facet of a well-rounded musician's journey. A handful of times each month, she returned to the 3rd Street Promenade to busk anonymously, sometimes donning a baseball cap to gauge raw reactions uncolored by her fame. These sessions reminded her of where she began, of the serendipitous beauty and unexpected applause, and the communal spirit of street performance. This balance between polished media moments and grassroots authenticity became her signature. She proved that viral stardom need not eclipse the humble origins that shaped it. Even as offers poured in, from brand endorsements to soundtrack features, Karolina opted for authenticity over opportunism. Instead of flashy sponsorships, she chose partnerships aligned with her values: a Ukrainian charitable foundation, a music education nonprofit, and eco-friendly instrument care brands. Each collaboration reinforced a narrative of integrity, purpose, and connection, elements her audience had come to cherish just as much as her prodigious talent. All these strategic moves, viral collaborations, high-impact TV spots, carefully chosen brand partnerships, did more than boost subscriber counts. They sculpted a cohesive, multidimensional persona. Karolina Protsenko, virtuoso violinist, relatable teenager, global citizen. In the ever-shifting ecosystem of online fame, she sidestepped the common pitfalls of one-hit wonder syndrome by constantly evolving, yet never losing sight of the core, authentic music making. And as her story continued to unfold, one thing became abundantly clear. Her journey was far from over, and her next chapter promised challenges and triumphs, every bit as surprising as her meteoric rise. Beyond the spotlight and viral sensations, Karolina Protsenko's story hinges on one enduring truth. Longevity in music demands more than fleeting clicks. It requires intention, resilience, and a clear sense of purpose. As her channel soared past the 10 million subscriber mark, she and her parents faced a crossroads: pursue every lucrative offer that popped into their inbox, or carefully curate projects that aligned with her core values. They chose the latter. Sponsorships from big-name brands often came with clauses demanding staged content and scripted endorsements, boxes to tick, messages to deliver. Instead, Karolina forged partnerships that felt authentic. A nonprofit bringing music education to underserved schools in Kyiv, an eco-friendly rosin company committed to reducing waste, a small independent luthier crafting violins for refugee musicians. With each collaboration, she reinforced a foundational pillar of her brand: music as a force for good. On the financial side, Karolina's YouTube ad revenue alone could be estimated at over $1 million per year. But she understood the pitfalls of relying solely on one income stream. Merchandise became an extension of her artistry. Vinyl stickers of her sunflower motif, high-quality t-shirts featuring her signature silhouette, even limited edition sheet music for fans eager to learn her unique arrangements. She launched a Patreon page, offering tiered rewards, behind-the-scenes practice videos, personalized video greetings, early access to new covers, in exchange for monthly support. The response was remarkable. Within weeks, she had a tight-knit circle of patrons, each contributing directly to her journey and solidifying a sense of intimate community. Her music sales on streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music added another revenue layer. Every play of Another Love or Shape of You earned her royalties. Every playlist placement translated into incremental income. When she released her first official album, a carefully curated collection of her most poignant covers, plus 2 original compositions co-written with a Nashville songwriter, it debuted in the top 20 on iTunes classical crossover charts. Press releases highlighted her transformation from busker to recording artist, but Karolina remained grounded. She saw this album not as an endpoint, but as a stepping stone on a much longer path. Behind the scenes, her daily schedule became a masterclass in discipline. Schoolwork filled her mornings. Virtual classes in literature, math, science, and history demanded the same rigor as her violin practice. Lunch often doubled as a quick touch base with her manager or videographer, plotting upcoming shoots or selecting which fan suggestions to tackle next. 2 hours each afternoon were spent in the practice room, alternating between technical drills, orchestral excerpts, and the latest pop hits trending on TikTok. Early evenings brought video production, testing camera angles, refining audio levels, and crafting thumbnails designed to spark curiosity. Can a 15-year-old nail this notoriously difficult riff? Weekends offered a breath of fresh air, literally and figuratively. On Saturdays, Karolina volunteered with Strings of Hope, a charity that taught refugee children in Los Angeles how to play. Guiding tiny hands to hold a bow, watching electric excitement light up their faces, reminded her why she fell in love with music in the first place. On Sundays, she and her family reprised their old ritual, an unplugged jam session in the living room. Guitar chords, piano runs, casual vocals. It was music unfiltered, an echo of those first days in Kyiv when melodies filled every corner of her home. These moments of simplicity replenished her creative spirit and insulated her from the pressure cooker of online fame. International tours beckoned on the horizon. Invitations came from concert halls in London, Tokyo, and Sydney, each promising audiences eager for a blend of classical technique and contemporary flair. Karolina navigated this leap carefully. Rather than jumping immediately to a global tour, she opted for a series of intimate recitals in European chamber venues, allowing her to adjust to live acoustics, audience dynamics, and sheer performance stamina. Each concert was live-streamed for fans unable to attend in person, maintaining that bridge between digital and physical presence. Critics praised her warm stage presence and tonal clarity. Fans praised the honesty in her post-concert Q&A sessions, where she talked casually about her snack preferences, her favorite math subject, or what it felt like to face down stage fright in a foreign language. If her ascent taught her anything, it's that vulnerability is a powerful connector. Backlash was inevitable. A missed rehearsal here, an off-tune note there, whispers that her parents orchestrated every success. Karolina faced such rumors head-on, dedicating an entire vlog to a candid Q&A, no script, no staging. Just her voice, answering questions about stress, family support, and the relentless grind of juggling school and stardom. The response was overwhelmingly positive. Viewers thanked her for honesty, shared their own struggles, and injected even more authenticity into her brand. Looking ahead, Karolina dreams of original compositions, songs that bear her signature fusion of classical and pop. She's already sketched several melodies inspired by childhood memories: the echo of church bells in Kiev, the hum of the Pacific breeze in California, the laughter of street performers back on 3rd Street Promenade. Collaborations remain on the docket, this time with jazz pianists, hip-hop producers, and electronic composers, each project expanding her sonic palette. And as she matures, she plans to channel her platform toward causes beyond music: mental health awareness among young artists, refugees' access to creative education, and sustainable touring practices that minimize environmental impact. Karolina Protsenko's journey is far more than a succession of viral moments. It's an evolving mosaic of artistic integrity, strategic choices, and heartfelt human connection. From that first resonant note on a busy sidewalk to standing ovations in grand concert halls, her path underscores a universal lesson. When talent meets tenacity, and when authentic purpose fuses with savvy ambition, the result is nothing short of magical. Now, her digital empire isn't just a collection of viral clips and television appearances. It's a carefully orchestrated platform that resonates with millions on a profound level. Each decision, from song selection to charitable partnerships, is a brushstroke in the larger portrait of who she is and what she represents. But beneath that polished veneer, moments of doubt emerge that reveal the human heart behind the phenomenon. Late at night, after marathon practice sessions, she stares at a blinking cursor on her phone, wrestling with the perfect caption. Is it too boastful, too casual, too promotional? In those vulnerable seconds, she remembers the core, authentic connection. Every time she chooses honesty over perfection, she strengthens the bond with her audience, transforming passive viewers into an engaged, supportive community. Behind the scenes, her support network acts as both anchor and compass. Her parents, seasoned musicians themselves, monitor every professional offer, ensuring financial security doesn't eclipse artistic integrity. Coaches and mentors provide technical feedback, while psychologists and close friends remind her that she's still a child with simple joys and occasional anxieties. Mindfulness exercises, like evening walks by the Pacific shore or brief journaling sessions before bed, help her reset. When self-criticism grows too loud, she recalls the spontaneous joy of that first street performance, the wild applause, the unfiltered smile. These mental health rituals prevent burnout, and they underscore a crucial lesson. Sustainable success requires as much internal care as external craft. Fan engagement lives at the heart of Karolina's content strategy. She hosts weekly live streams where fans vote on upcoming song covers, ask questions about technique, and share personal stories of how her music resonates with them. In these sessions, she speaks candidly about practice struggles, travel mishaps, and even homework deadlines, bridging the gap between artist and audience. Each viewer's name flashes on screen as chat messages are read aloud, and occasional pop-in guests, fellow street performers, or longtime collaborators, keep the energy dynamic. These communal experiences cultivate loyalty far beyond typical comment sections. They build a shared narrative in which every fan becomes a character in Karolina's ongoing musical saga. Balancing adolescent life with a meteoric rise in the public eye presents unique challenges. Karolina's academic progress is closely managed. Specialized tutors ensure she meets or exceeds grade-level expectations, and her school district provides extracurricular credits for her musical achievements. Some days, algebra worksheets wait beside Bach concertos, and English essays compete for her attention with thumbnail brainstorms. Time management has become her superpower, reinforced by digital tools, calendar alerts for practice, assignment trackers, and even breathing reminders that chime softly in her ear. While most teenagers vie for social events, Karolina measures success in polished bow strokes and completed vlogs. Yet she intentionally weaves in ordinary teenage moments, a quiet coffee with friends, a shared laugh over a meme. To retain a sense of normalcy amid extraordinary circumstances, AS Karolina charts her course forward. Every horizon feels both thrilling and humbling. She envisions a debut original album featuring her own compositions, blending Slavic folk motifs with modern cinematic swells. She dreams of a world tour that pairs solo recitals in intimate venues with full orchestral showcases in grand concert halls. She imagines harnessing emerging technologies like augmented reality concerts and interactive virtual masterclasses to democratize musical education. More than anything, she hopes to inspire the next generation of creatives to forge their paths without fear of failure. Her story demonstrates that authenticity, when paired with strategic vision, can transform a simple violin into a vessel of global connection. Now, the question shifts from what happened to Karolina Protsenko to where will she go next? Whatever comes, new compositions, unexpected partnerships, or personal milestones, one truth remains clear. Her journey is a living testament to the power of passion, persistence, and purpose. And for every young dreamer tuning in from around the globe, Karolina's silent promise echoes with every resonant bow stroke. Magic truly can happen when talent meets tenacity. Stay tuned, because her next movement is only just beginning. We'll witness her evolution as both artist and advocate, tracking how every string she plucks amplifies voices, crosses cultures, and empowers communities. From humble street corners to global stages, Karolina's narrative reminds us that authenticity beautifully transforms stories into symphonies of inspiration. Even as the applause fades and the lights dim on another sold-out stadium tour, Karolina Protsenko's creative engine keeps humming at full throttle. At 15, she's already sketching melodies for an original EP that draws on a lifetime of influences. The hymn-like echo of her childhood church in Kiev, the spontaneous energy of California street performances, and the atmospheric pulses of iconic film scores. In her sunlit practice room, she leans over a battered notebook, fingers dancing across piano keys as she hums tentative lines. This marks a thrilling departure from playing covers. Now the violin is her voice, translating tender memories into sweeping bow strokes that linger in the air like distant whispers of home and hope. Every note on these nascent tracks carries more weight than any viral hit ever could because it represents her deepest self. The move to original music carries risk. Fans tuned in for flawless renditions of pop anthems might hesitate to follow her into uncharted territory. Yet Karolina approaches this challenge with crystal-clear strategy. Each new original snippet is released alongside a familiar cover, crafting a gentle musical gateway. She teases an upcoming chorus after closing a Someone You Loved cover, urging listeners to stay tuned. Social media polls collect feedback at every stage. Should that bridge carry tremolo or a soft pizzicato interlude? Should the cello undertones be richer, or would minimalist strings evoke more intimacy? This collaborative approach deepens her bond with listeners, making them active co-creators in her artistic journey. She personally replies to hundreds of comments daily. I love that idea, so we'll add a flute melody here. It turns a solo process into a communal celebration. Meanwhile, whispers of a global tour swirl behind the scenes. Invitations from concert promoters promise the spotlight of historic venues, from Tokyo's opulent halls to sunlit Parisian salons. Karolina and her team weigh every option. A full-blown world tour poses logistical hurdles, schooling requirements, travel visas, and the stamina to deliver flawless performances night after night. Instead, they map a hybrid approach. Pop-up recitals in 14 key cities, each live-streamed to tens of thousands online. This model preserves exclusivity, a limited number of in-person tickets, while honoring her digital roots, making each show both local event and global phenomenon. Beyond performances, Karolina's vision extends to accelerating music education worldwide. She's exploring a partnership with an edtech startup to develop an interactive, app-based violin curriculum. Imagine learners practicing alongside Karolina's digital avatar, receiving instant feedback on posture, bow angle, and intonation. Though still in beta, the program promises to democratize high-level instruction, just as street busking first democratized access to classical music in her career. It echoes the generosity that first defined her journey, passing along a gift so it can keep giving, amplifying ripple effects across classrooms thousands of miles away. Her schedule evolves to accommodate these ambitious projects. Mornings shift earlier, dedicated to songwriting sessions and brainstorming calls with developers. Afternoons remain sacred for focused practice, featuring improvisation workshops with award-winning composers. Early evenings bring meetings with charitable foundations and video shoots for behind-the-scenes documentaries, capturing everything from pre-concert butterflies to the elation of a mistake-free take. These snapshots humanize her brand, balancing cinematic polish with heartfelt vulnerability, reminding fans that every polished performance rests on countless hours of unseen effort. That in the whirlwind, Karolina still wrestles with teenage anxieties. She celebrated her 15th birthday surrounded by childhood friends, many first met at busking sessions, who toasted her achievements with homemade cupcakes and laughter. She admits she sometimes frets over algebra exams or worries her bow will slip during a crucial chord. These raw, unguarded moments find their way into her vlogs, reinforcing that authenticity resonates deeper than any manufactured persona. Fans reply with empathy, sharing their own exam jitters or wardrobe malfunctions, forging connections that transcend screens. Every triumph is cast in contrast to humble beginnings. Stepping onto a massive stage under a canopy of lights, she recalls the sun-baked sidewalk of 3rd Street Promenade, the hush of surprised onlookers, the thunderous applause from passers-by with no idea who she was. Those early busking sessions taught her to play not for views, but for souls, to create magic in any setting. That lesson informs every new melody she composes, every decision to involve fans in creative choices, and every partnership she forms with purpose-driven charities. Karolina's path continues as an active experiment, blending time-honored tradition with tomorrow's technology, weaving intimate community engagement with high-impact mainstream ventures, and uniting personal vulnerability with global aspiration. Each project becomes part of a dynamic dialogue with her past, her fans, and the universal language of music. Where this journey leads next, whether to chart-topping original albums, revolutionary educational platforms, or immersive augmented reality concerts, one principle remains steadfast. Her violin strings channel the collective heartbeat of every listener, resonating far beyond any stage. As you anticipate Karolina's next movement, consider what happens when authenticity meets innovation, when youthful curiosity mingles with disciplined craft, and when a single note on a street corner sparks a symphony of opportunity. Karolina Protsenko's story is your reminder that any dreamer, armed with intention and creativity, can transform a personal passion into a global phenomenon. Stay tuned for the final section, where we'll reveal the personal convictions and everyday rituals that keep her grounded, and the inspiring message she hopes to leave for aspiring musicians everywhere. Every morning, Karolina wakes up before sunrise with a simple ritual that sets the tone for her entire day. She spends 10 minutes journaling 3 things she is grateful for, grounding herself in humility before the whirlwind of recordings, interviews, rehearsals, and social media takes over. Then she moves to a short breathing exercise, inhaling for a count of 4, holding for 4, and exhaling for 4, a practice she learned to calm pre-performance nerves. Only after these moments of stillness does she pick up her violin, taking time to feel the wood under fingertips and to coax a single, resonant note from the strings. That note, clear and true, reminds her of that first busking performance, when raw passion was the only production she needed. It also reminds her of the power of authenticity to transcend any barrier, age, language, or geography. Amid her packed calendar, Karolina still makes space for ordinary joys. Weekend hikes with childhood friends, late-night movie marathons, and impromptu ice cream runs remind her that life beyond the stage remains equally precious. These moments of laughter replenish her creativity, ensuring her music always carries warmth and humanity. To aspiring musicians watching her journey, Karolina offers three simple yet profound pieces of advice. First, master the fundamentals with unwavering discipline. Technique is the foundation upon which every masterpiece stands. Second, embrace experimentation courageously. Let your bow explore genres, merge styles, and write your own musical rules. And third, remain open, vulnerable, and connected. Music thrives on shared humanity, not just polished performances. She reminds them that setbacks, off days, and off-tune notes aren't failures. They are signposts marking the path of growth. As her story unfolds, one truth remains constant. The most resonant music is born from authenticity, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to hope. Whether under the open sky of a street corner or within the hallowed halls of a grand concert venue, every performance carries the potential to unite hearts and spark change. This is Karolina Protsenko's legacy in motion, a living testament that music can bridge cultures, uplift spirits, and inspire action. Her invitation to every viewer is simple. Pick up your own instrument, your own brushstroke, your own voice, and share it bravely with the world. Because when you do, you add your own movement to the symphony of human experience. And that contribution can change lives. In the coming months, Karolina will debut her first original EP, release an educational app, and step onto stages she once only dreamed of. But regardless of awards, charts, or sold-out shows, her North Star remains the same: to touch lives with honest expression. Through her journey, Karolina demonstrates that art is more than performance. It is a promise, passed from one curious soul to another. And in a world that often rushes past beauty, that promise lingers, urging us to pause, listen, and create our own legacies. As you reflect on Karolina's path, consider your own story and the instruments at your disposal, whatever they may be. It might be a paintbrush, a pen, a voice, or a melody waiting to be played. Begin with gratitude, then practice with intention, and finally, share with courage. Every great story starts with a single step, a single note, or a single line drawn on paper. Karolina Protsenko's journey from roadside busker to global ambassador of hope reminds us: possibility lives where passion and perseverance meet. Today, her violin sings melodies of resilience. Tomorrow, it might echo new stories you helped her compose. It is an open invitation to dreamers everywhere. Step into your stage, embrace your unique voice, and play like no one is watching. What really happened to Karolina Protsenko is more than a viral phenomenon. It's a blueprint for turning passion into purpose. It shows how a single note, played with authenticity, can reverberate across cultures, spark conversations, and inspire countless others to pick up the baton. May her story encourage you to pursue your craft relentlessly, to face setbacks as lessons, and to build bridges with every artistic gesture. As Karolina's violin strings vibrate across continents, let your own creativity resonate in hearts yet unheard. After all, the world's greatest symphony begins with the courage to play your first note. So pick up your instrument and let the magic unfold today.